In reading the Adventures of Rebisar Tarzs, this is the first time I ever heard Rebisar Tarzs talk almost like a university professor of philosophy. It was just going over my head. I'm like, duh. I don't understand what he's talking about. But anyways, about a week later, right before I was going to do the NUUU, sitting down, all of a sudden, again, my awareness opened up and I saw something that looked like plexiglass, tinted plexiglass. And of course, this is just a reference to help me understand something. So I don't know if everybody has their individual references. But the reference was that I saw that something said, this is the all-isness. It was really high and I was looking at it. This is the all-isness. And then that as the light and sound comes from it, it hits the true awareness. And I saw it hit my true awareness, and it looked like my true awareness was really knocked out of sleep. And it looked like a bubble, and it looked like it had a heavy weight on it. Well, anyways, from my true awareness, it shot out at like a 90-degree or 45-degree angle, and there was a portal. And the light and sound that came through my true awareness, the words time was on there, and the word space was on there, and the word physical realm was on there as it went through this portal. And I said, hey, this is how we manifest our universe or our world. And then I said, well, how do I wake up my true awareness? Because I could tell that it was knocked out. It was what it was doing. It was like on autopilot. It didn't even know that it was doing that. And so I said, well, how do I turn that energy towards the 7th level to wake myself up, to wake up, to decide to wake up? And then I did the NUUU, try to turn the energy towards the 7th level. Even though I don't know where the 7th level is, I just said towards the 7th level. And it felt like I was trying to turn a runaway train. I thought well, if this is my imagination, why can't I turn it? It felt really heavy. I almost felt like I was trying to do something physical. So I couldn't imagine it turning to direct it towards the 7th level. So then I got the impression that if I could just send impressions to my unaware real self to wake up, to start singing the NUUU. And so I've been doing the deciding to wake up, sending impressions, something to get it to the 7th level. But so I just wanted to say these depictions that I was shown kind of explain what Rebisar Tarzs was saying, that how it's like he showed me an example of what he was talking about.
So in creation, you have the faculties that you're aware of up to the intuition, and you also have the imagination, okay, which is more flexible in creation than the mind and even the intuition. Now, it's a particular. Now, when you look at it, look at the imagination. That comes about through your free will and also your mind, etc. You formulate something accordingly to what you've experienced so far. Your intuition is hints at something, isn't it? It just hints you to something, and actually it hints you to your real awareness. Now, when you focus on, let's say, the 7th level, or we'll just say, that's just literal. Okay, these things are literal. But realistically, had to create a dividing line, you might say. Just like there's the United States and Mexico, there's a dividing line. Realistically, it's all the same. But creation applies to the real universes. There aren't levels there. There's no levels in life at all. There's no up or down or whatever. It's all in isness. But now that you want to see what's taking place with what is real, we'll call it the real universes, it's a matter of recognition. It's not a matter of directing anything or creating anything. This is where, at first, for the longest time, when we all go through this, that we're thinking in those terms that we need to create something. No, this is with your intent. And it's a decided position to recognize it. So just like if you were sitting in a classroom and the instructor was writing things on the blackboard as an example, and you're just sitting there watching it. Now you have that part of your mind that's figuring it out, okay? But you also, as you just kind of let go and just kind of look to see what's going on and just kind of skip the mind for a moment, all of a sudden there are intuitive impressions that come from the real you if you can spot them, okay, and recognize them. And then eventually this leads up to recognizing the real you, but it's a recognition. And this is what has really not been brought out. See, we've been raised with ideas and authorities, etc. So all these ideas like ancient wisdom and what have you, got all these pretty words. Well, these are ideas. And so people get locked into these ideas because they've been raised literally. This is the indoctrination system that we've gone through, especially now. The indigenous people didn't raise people in this way. They raised them to be more intuitive with the natural environment that exists here, with their environment and anything else that took place in the other dimensions or dreams as a start. But today we're very, very literalized. So we carry this literalization with us through these real side experiences also. And you decide when you're going to recognize the difference between the literal part, emotional attachments, tap lining, intuition, and the real you and the real universes. Now, once you start this recognition, then you learn to perceive, what I call perceiving. In other words, you learn to read life, okay? And again, it's all here and now. It's nothing that you chase or decide or create. The true reality of life is, and I've said this many times, already complete. There's nothing that you can add to it that will improve it. And so you really do the opposite. You let go and learn to see what it is instead of deciding what it is. That's the bigger picture. So again, it's like the sun shining. It doesn't go anywhere. It represents an isness. You see, that's the fun part. So now you can become a part of everything by letting go of everything that's not necessary. So, but that's a step at a time, because just like children, you know, they go out there and play, but they come back to their parents. We go back and forth because we need the reference of creation for the longest time until we can really see it and be it. You see, this is the big journey. This is huge. It'll take you the rest of your life and way beyond that, because it's endless. And it's nothing that you can literally consider. It's actually positions. It's actually a real position. That's what I call UP, or universal position, of where you can't even consider it, because it cannot be considered. And anything you consider it to be, that's not it. You have to learn to see it, recognize it, and then eventually perceive it. So that's the fun part. Anyhow, there you go.
This planet Earth needs a lot of help from all of us right now. Dean Val of NUUU, Nations United, UNUversal, UNUversity, is contacting people around this world every day to share the importance of the all-natural environment supporting all of us. Dean Val and Duane Lee Heppner.org 501c3 have created CAN, Community Action Network, to help all communities become aware of how to be self-sufficient with permaculture and food and rainforests. We are always looking for real people to step up who want to learn what life on this earth is all about. We will be leasing large portions of land to create something wonderful for all communities everywhere. Contact Val Vittles on Skype and Facebook, and through the phone number and the website DuaneTheGreatWriter.net provided in the links, to get involved with what we all can do now. The NUUU, Nations United UNUversal UNUversity, is dedicated to supporting and providing a real purpose and real awareness with the all-natural environment supporting all of us. First comes this earth with food and rainforests, and to protect what is still here. For those who have the awareness to see what is actually taking place here with all the natural devastation, which is also purposely planned by WorldKontrollers, you now have a real opportunity to step up and do something with those who also care about your planet Earth. Duane Lee Heppner has created the NUUU, Nations United UNUversal UNUversity, which completely entails the all-natural environment everywhere, and a real education that has real value, and that far surpasses any commonly created indoctrinating educational system that does not focus on what sustains all of us naturally. Real survival makes sense with everything here that is self-sustaining.